Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through Friday. Hope you guys are going to have a good weekend. Go do something fun. Some of us will be grinding forward. If you want to get on the Mind, Body, and Soul program, and if you want to change your life, you can contact me. I do coaching and mentoring, and you can go to my website, check it out. SkyAzrael.com. I always put the link below, or you can just find me on social media, Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Send me a message. I tell myself a mantra, affirmation, to help me be more aware of what's going on around me so I can navigate my path more clearly, better, without as much suffering. And I tell myself, I allow myself to recognize the signs and signals sent my way. Because sometimes we can go through life with blinders on and not see any of the signs and signals that were sent your way. And have you ever had somebody in your life, maybe you haven't, but I have, where they have been horribly, horribly off course? Maybe with their whole life, or maybe just on a certain area, a certain topic, and people around them are warning them. The warning signs are there. I told you countless times you had to clean up, you had to change your ways, you should not do that. And you get a guy who goes through this, not listening, his hands over his ears, blinders on, not paying attention to any of the signs and signals sent his way. And then maybe he's in the hospital, or who knows what the problem is, and he could be rather bitter towards everyone else around him. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't someone warn me? If only somebody would have told me. And I mean, I've had this experience where you just look at the guy and you're just like, dude, I've been telling you for as long as I've known you, and everybody else around you has been trying to tell you. The signals were there. You've been blind to them. In your delusional state, following your path, you think you know it all. One of the steps in manhood is to realize you don't know it all. But there is a higher power in the universe, and you can call it God, you can call it whatever you want. I call it God. And I've learned to pay attention to the signs and signals that are sent my way by the universe. The universe guides me, guides us all, sends you signals and signs and messages, little guideposts and little tidbits of information that you need to make the right choice, to go the right direction. No, not that way, this way. And most of us ignore that stuff. And then we whine and complain and writhe and roll around on the floor in pain, in our suffering, when it's all our own blindness. One of the ways that you can practice seeing those signs and signals is by quieting the mind and trying to hear that inner voice. You have a voice that talks to you. You can do this through meditation. That's one great way to do it. But sometimes those signs and signals may just be in our environment, and you recognize them as the truth, as the way. It hits you. You may see a little bit of dialogue in a movie, and sure, maybe you did take it slightly out of context and process it in your head, but it somehow spoke to you. The whole movie could have been boring, but that one scene had your attention, and you were paying attention, and like, whoa, and it was just hitting you. Maybe it was a song. And every time that song comes on, oh, there's that verse, and it just hits you. Sometimes there's just an understanding that you get in something someone says. And it's just in your mind and you're like, whoa, I just had a little revelation. I just took a step forward. I just figured something out. A knot untied. Well, there's an interesting part of the Bible. John, the book of John, chapter 10, verse 4. But I only want to read part of it. I'm not going to read the whole verse. And, starting at and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. The sheep follow him, for they know his voice. The sheep won't come when you call. They'll come when he calls because they know his voice. You ever have a pet? You ever have a dog? Your dog's not going to come, most likely. Maybe it will, but my dogs wouldn't come if you call them. They'll come when I call them, and they'll come quick. They know my voice. My dogs would know my car. They know my motorcycle. They hear me a block away, and they start wagging their tail, scratching at the door. They know. And the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. You know when it's God talking to you. You know when that's a message from God. It's obvious to you. It may not be to anybody else, but the sheep follow him because they know his voice. You know that's the master. You know that's the boss. You know that's your father. But not everybody gets this kind of stuff because not everybody is really on the path and not everybody is aware. A lot of people, like I said, they're walking around with blinders on. Maybe they don't have a personal connection with the higher power or with the energy of the universe, the positive energy. So they're rather numb to all this, and they might be rather lost in life. And that doesn't mean there aren't signs and signals sent their way. It just means that they're not paying attention to them. The whole time they're navigating through the world, inside their head is just this voice going blah, 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 just drowning out everything else. There might be this quiet little voice saying, no, brother, over here, over here. Love is over here. Success is over here. Follow this way, but you're just blah, 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 running your fucking mouth. My dad used to tell me, keep your fool mouth shut. He would tell me, my dad was a gangster. But I took that knowledge and transferred it into all kinds of ways. Sometimes you got to keep your little fool mouth shut so you can hear the voice of God. Stop talking, son, so you can hear the lesson being taught to you. And the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. Pay attention to the signs and signals that are sent your way today. Food for thought.